Alrighty. Hello, Beavers.
Welcome back to another stream.
Welcome back to another stream. Hopefully you were here for last stream on Wednesday when I told you to come watch this stream.
Remember, we said be here or be square. So you're not a square.
If you're not here, you're pretty square, but you wouldn't be hearing this from us. So if you are here, point and laugh at everybody who isn't here.
Ha ha.
Let's go, Beavs. That's
Let's
right.
go, Beavs.
Mackenzie Shrewy is not a square.
Well,
maybe
a little bit.
Just a little bit. But
especially because we heard somebody named Zoidstein might be in the chat today. I think he's a real big square. He hasn't been here very often.
Zoidstein in the chat's probably going to be a pretty old square too.
Yeah, actually.
Like what, mid 60s now?
I heard mid 70s actually. And Tion the Mighty, welcome in. Guess you're not a square either. Although me personally, I do think you are a square.
Yeah, Tion's pretty square. I heard he's a sim main.
A sim main? I mean, that's a step down from being a tank main.
Mm-hmm. He used to be a Reinhardt main, then he became a sim main, yeah.
Wow, he became what he swore to destroy.
Indeed. But yeah, today we've got Navy teams.
One of their first streams too.
Yeah, one of their
first stream. Actually, it is their first stream. I think
this
right
is their
for this
season. Yeah, and it's the semifinals.
Yes,
it's the semifinals for Division D.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
I think
it's semifinals for Division D.
I think there is only the 4 divisions for ECAC anyway. So yeah, I think it is Division D. So
yeah, we're going to be watching this. We just got all spec.
We did a little bit of preliminary like scouting and stuff. How do you think this is gonna go for the Beavers compared to what they've been or what we've been told from the previous games that they've played this season?
From what I've heard from like members of Navy, I've heard that they mostly go against a lot of like gold to plat range. Obviously, there's some exceptions like some silvers, but obviously of every division has some lower ranks in it.
Yep.
But now I think they're going to be facing like a low diamond, like diamond 5, a couple of mid plats.
I think there was a couple high plats too.
A couple high plats.
I think this will definitely be very challenging.
It might be a challenging game for the Beavers tonight.
And speaking of which, we're actually just now getting into the
game.
So here we go. We have our typical 5. We have the Wax Chunk, Senny, Game Worm. I actually don't know how to pronounce.
I think it's just Zeppy.
Zeppy, all right, and then Jupiter.
Because the KC is its own thing.
Okay. So Zeppy, that makes sense.
And then for Rio, they have the chat. We're gonna be talking to the chat a lot. Commander, Widow, Rat, and Theory. For whatever, I might need a new prescription. I was trying to say the dry.
For Tion the Mighty, who didn't hear, you're a square.
You're a square, Tion. Tion the Mighty in chat, definitely a square.
Catching strays.
I've
yes,
never,
you are. Yes,
I've
you
never
are.
heard of a sim main that wasn't a square.
Round 1, capture the objective.
All right, as we get started here, we are on what is this?
Legion Control
Center. That's right.
We see both teams immediately starting the fight in here.
Fast pick by Widowmaker.
On that Hanzo is definitely going to be causing problems. That is a good first pick, especially on their DPS.
This is a really hard brawl comp for the Beavers to try to deal with, and we do see Widowmaker getting another pick.
We do see us getting kind of forced back into this corner hallway with the stairs as they take control of the high ground and allows their Hanzo to just take point.
We do see Waxon getting a pick here on Commander Gree, though. Ascending getting another pick. Game Worm getting another pick.
We do see the picks going out allow us to take that high ground and force up onto point to recap.
It does look like the chat might be getting out, though.
And the chat does indeed get out. Hopefully, we're going to be seeing some playing up into this hallway. We do.
Ult economy is looking pretty good for BVU here. However,
they are playing in a
pretty
very
hard counter
strange place.
It's actually a pretty normal place. Is you want to be playing up there on that doorway, playing that high ground.
That is fair.
Now,
we do see Rio push up through this high.
Oh, the chat getting a quick pick.
The chat getting a pick.
By Senny, though.
We do see Widowmaker on the Hanzo up high. Jupiter and Gamer taking down the tank there. So they're going to be down a tank, but we are currently down a DPS, and I believe...
And we see a swap to Reinhardt. That's a interesting swap here.
It is. I think maybe just the Queen wasn't working out. They might just be going for harder brawl.
Yeah, I can see that, but I think the issue here is that Harissa's a pretty hard counter to deal with. Oh, that was a good Dragon's though, getting Zeppy here.
And Wax going down. They're down 2 right now. And down tank. This is going to be either a TK or a full reset.
It looks like a Senny actually might get staggered here. He got spotted by that sonar arrow and is still trying to stick around.
Senny is trying to get out. Does manage to collect back with his team. We see Gameworm starting to push up through this hall.
We do see Zoidstein in the chat calling himself out for Diamond being a washed rank, apparently. Interesting play by Commander Gree, just sitting in the Orisa ult there.
We do see Bap window go out.
And we do see the Orbital Ray come out. This could be a problem for the Beavers here.
We do use our own Lucio ult to try and match that. Hopefully we see a pick on the
bob too. I just
Juno.
realized there's a bob on the back of point there. It does look like, though, it is a lost fight for the Beavers with, I think they used 2 ults. Oh, and
that is a Shatter going out.
Looks like we matched 2 ults there, maybe 3 actually. I think both support ults and then Shatter right there.
Yes, they used both support ults and Shatter. And we used, I believe we only used...
I think we used 2 there.
Yeah. We
Bob
used Bob and Bede.
Or no, we did actually use the Orisa ult too. So
Yes, we did open with Orisa.
So we did actually kind of trade a little bit.
We see
good
both
combo, but just not getting very much value except for Gameworm just walking into it.
I mean, it gives them enough value to force them off of that choke with 90% taken. They're going to be forced out of position, and they might have to get really, really aggressive. And with them holding in the high ground, they have to touch this at a bad position.
This could be pretty bad for, what is it, Rio Grande? Or, I don't remember.
Rio Grande.
Rio Grande.
We do see their tank going low, but we have our second Baptiste window in only 2 fights.
And
that is them going down.
The first point.
I do think that that double damage ult was down that hallway was just to try and create
I think it was
space.
just to create space, keep them off that point for just a little bit more to force them not to play really rush.
We did see that they were forced into that rush when with 90% taken already on the point. There's really not much that they were able to do.
This is true, especially with BVU running more of like that brawl, or not the brawl, but more of like a poke comp. It's really hard to try to push through those choke points against a brawl team.
I mean, with the
especially with the Reinhardt shield just tanking a ton of damage. With
the Sojourn and the Ashe, they were able to. They had a lot of poke capabilities and even some spam with the Orisa and the Sojourn, but. You know,
it was just kind of hard to get that spam damage out with that Rhine shield. And we do see them actually TPing on the point. We're going to see a full-on brawl from both teams, actually.
Both TP'd on.
Getting a pick on Wax Chunk right away. It's looking like Gameworm goes down, Jupiter goes down.
Aseni dies.
I think that's a initial lost fight by BVU there.
Yeah, we did see both teams did TP on. However, the TP went out faster for Rio.
Bit of an unfortunate situation. I know Wax Chunk has been working really hard to try to perfect those sim TPs. It's just unfortunate that Rio Grande was just able to beat
Rio was
them faster.
Just a little bit faster, so they had point control.
And that sim TP, if you're getting TP'd into a big shatter by the chat there.
Yeah, we do see the Rhine get walled off. I'm assuming
a good Immort field
that the
keeping
team
the Rhine
calls
up.
that out, and so the Rhine was able to shatter and prevent utility from that Mei wall, and actually got a couple picks. Instead of just saving his life, he won the fight with it.
He single-handedly, I think he won that fight there. I mean, he got a really big pick on a support early on too.
With the Rhine getting crit, that Immort field just thrown from the other side of the field. Perfect placement, allowing him to get out safely.
It was pretty impressive. Unfortunate for the Beavers there, especially with the Orisa. I would have expected the gold to come out. I mean, you would think they'd be calling it.
Now we do see them pushing up on that right side.
A lot of damage out on Wax Chunk, and Wax Chunk does go down
Wax
to
is finished off. We do see Orisa getting the shield.
We do see 2 trades out here, but we do see the chat getting another one. Just left down to Zeppy and Game Worm. Now Game Worm only, and he's
down. Now
we do see the chat also has another Rhine ult.
Another one. Now Rhine can build ults very fast. It's depending on just how well you're playing on Reinhardt. But if you do play a good Reinhardt, you can build ults just about every fight, every other fight.
Yep. Let's get a first-person view here from Gameworm's perspective.
Where is he? There it is.
There it is. And we just see him getting obliterated fast. We do see an Ajax, maybe an Ajax. I can't tell, actually.
We do see one ult getting the kill there.
We do see BBU having to use 3 ults for those
now
two.
We see a charge taking a Cine down. The Rhine was charging to get back towards the safety of his team, and he takes a Cine with him.
It was a good exit pick there, especially with them running that brawl team. It's going to be an issue for Rhine with that Mei being up.
Now we do see Game Worm going with the shield, which is usually what I choose, and it will be good against that Symmetra, but she will be able to build tier 3 off of it pretty easily. We see the Sojourn ult going out.
I mean,
the team TP'd onto point without them noticing, really, so all 5 could get on before they could turn around.
Wax was hoping that he had that still, but it's a 1v5. It's just an unfortunate loss there. And Rio Grande takes first map 0-2.
So we will stay back. We'll see what play is. A lot of streams will take away play of the game.
I think it's only fair we
always
show
feels
for both
mean.
teams. So Commander Gree here. Really big Bastion turret here, actually.
A huge Bastion turret in the back.
And then I think a big nade here. I think finishes off Game Worm, and it does. Nice 4K, actually.
That was a pretty good 4K. Bastion.
I'm rooting for the Beavers here. I'm rooting for the Beavers here, but that was a pretty good 4K.
We're rooting for the Beavers, but you gotta give it to good plays.
Yep. We do see in the chat that they're asking for a quick 5-minute break, so
we will
we'll get back to you once next map starts.
Yeah, we'll throw y'all an intermission screen. We'll be right back. Alrighty, and we are getting ready, so we are getting back into the game here.
We do see Midtown up here, and Rio Grande taking defense first. Could maybe be an issue for the Beavers here. Midtown is a pretty spam-friendly map, though, especially with that second point. So if we get down to that third, it might be rough.
We might like the spam initially on Midtown, but I think once we get into the Rio offense, we're gonna see that sim come out again, and we're gonna see.
Could maybe see those.
We could see a sim
bomb
again, like we saw on Lijiang, which allowed them to take the points, because both of those sim bombs that we saw on Lijiang, one each map, allowed us to fully take the point while BVU was still looking the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
So we have got.
Hopefully BVU took that 5-minute break and really talked to each other and tried to figure out a strategy. We do see a Soj, Junkrat, Kiri, Bap, and a Sigma from Rio Grande. And interestingly enough, a Roadhog pick from Gameworm. I'm not sure I've seen a whole lot of his Roadhog gameplay.
I haven't seen a whole lot of it either. Now, with the spam capabilities and, honestly, spam and poke of Orisa, I don't see why it wouldn't go for an initial pick of Orisa on Midtown.
I could maybe see the Roadhog for a quick pick, but he's gonna have a real hard time against that Sigma. That Sigma shield's just gonna be kind of an issue for him.
I think the Sojourn's gonna be a big issue because he's
That's gonna be a really big target for that charge.
A large target for him to build charge, and then he can use that charge on someone like the Juno, who I mean,
Moira,
a lot of movement, but
kind of weak. I mean,
now we do see the initial fight through this tunnel here.
Give us some Did you see Waxon getting a quick pick though?
Wax getting the pick on the Sojourn. That's probably gonna help the Roadhog push up. Roadhog smoking the SIGs.
Ooh, that Junkrat trap does take down one of the supports though.
And their DPS is gonna get back a bit faster than our support is.
Kind of walking on the. Oh, okay. His team was with him.
We do see a pick on the Sojourn,
but he's just so low that it's kind of a losing battle here. Oh, he does get a pick though. Good pick. Oh,
and he does go down.
Can the two supports
hit the print screen?
Whoops. Can the two supports bring it out here? Oh, this could be a big stagger. We do see the tire go out. This could be a big stagger with that tire. It looks like they're backing way up. Oh, but Wax Chunk gets the brunt of it.
Was looking for possibly one of the supports, but finds Wax. Unfortunate stagger there. So they're either going to have to wait or they're going to have to push in a 5v4.
This is 100% a winnable fight, but they need to try to deal with that Junkrat that's just spamming them from that height. I mean, you just see their Gameworm just takes an absolute butt ton of damage. Oh, and then that misses the Roadhook Hog, and he dies because of it.
Yeah, those ult cancels are really important to get down. They're really life or death, and we do see him going down for it.
Aseni really, really low, getting pushed back into their spawn. He does stay up though.
Does stay up. The
we do
cryo
see 4
saved
ults
him
from
twice.
BVU. This could change it, and we could get point here.
We do see 4 ults from us, but we also see 3 from them, and 50 on the Sigma who just used his. Now we do see 2 ults going out. We see the Roadhog and the Moira.
We do see the Mei ult coming out. This could be really big. Getting support and tank. Really good Mei ult there. I feel like that really helped clean up the fight a little bit.
It did.
Kind of sitting AFK on point though. That Junkrat almost taking down our Moira.
And our tank very low as well.
Now, we did have to use 3 ults there, which could be detrimental because we're seeing Rio Grande having 3 ults of themselves now. And Game Worm swapping to Ramatra. This could be an issue because if they're going to run more of a brawl, that high ground's going to be kind of hard for them to take. And here comes that Tire. Possibly looking for another support.
Tire is taken down. Now, I think the Ramatra swap went out while he was still playing Sigma, but chat has actually swapped to Orisa, which is going to be a little unfortunate for a Ramatra there.
Mm-hmm. Waxshun getting some good damage on the Orisa there, but unable to really do much with it.
Getting good damage on the Sojourn, but Sojourn is able to get out because of that Baptiste and Warfield. We do see Widowmaker swapping back onto Hanzo.
That Hanzo was kind of an issue for them.
We do see Game Worm getting a pick on the
and then
Sojourn.
Getting a pick on Widowmaker.
So we are up. And the tank does go down.
And a good team kill there to secure the point. I believe to secure the point.
I don't think they're going to be able to
touch it. No, they're not going to touch. It looks like they're actually backing off.
Or trying to.
The Reinhardt pick could be a little bit of an issue for Game Worm.
Because Reinhardt just does a lot more damage in Ramatra's effective range. At least when he's in Nemesis. And Ramatra's poke capabilities can kind of just be negated by that shield.
Yep. Now the May could still be an issue for this Reinhardt.
We see a bat window go out.
Not gonna get a whole lot of value off of it because it's kind of in between the cart and like where the team is.
And we do see that Reinhardt forcing off. Blizz does go out, but Mortfield not focused
did delay that Bastion's death there.
And it allows the Reinhardt to get out, forced back.
Looks like a really good Ramatra ult here.
That was a very good Ramatra ult, getting a support and a tank in it, and the other support getting cleaned up.
We have 1 ult to Rio Grande's 0 ults, so I think we should be able to just walk this point in, hopefully.
We should.
We do see Wax go down, that wall there. But we do trade out a support, getting the tank as well with it, and it looks like it's probably going to be a secured point for BBU here. Really good push with 2 minutes still left on the clock.
A very good push there.
That was a really big blizzard that helped win that fight there. I mean,
we saw a couple very good blizzards.
Yes, right there at the beginning of the map, right there on point, getting 3 in there.
Getting 3 in the blizzard, and especially with it being the
it was
it was a DPS. It was a DPS, a support, and a tank.
Yep.
And that is what allowed them to secure the first point, and then that second blizzard on the push, allowing them to just clean house.
They were able to get both the Reinhardt and that Bastion in there, and it forced down 2 pretty big cooldowns from the Baptiste there.
Mm-hmm. It forced out the Immort instantaneously.
Yep.
Which kept the Bastion and the Reinhardt up long enough to where the Reinhardt could get out of the blizzard, but they were cleaned up afterwards.
Rio Grande's going to have to make a pretty big play here, and actually going back into the game.
My bad. I forgot that we were on the game cam.
We actually do see exactly what we were talking about with that sim TP, possibly with a.
We do
kind of matching what our initial comp was outside of the Roadhog and May, I believe.
And I think with the sim and the Queen, they're going to be going for a very hard rush with the sim TP.
Mm-hmm. With a little bit of spam from that Hanzo, could be. We do see a sim TP go out. Looks like they're going to try to swap the field here.
Going backside.
Oh, Zeppi does go down.
And we do see
Widow
and Tank
go down.
And that is That's the TK.
Not a bad trade for just one person.
They might try to swap the TP, or they might try a TP again, but in a different position. It's unclear at the moment.
Zeppy almost going down again to just spam. I mean, we saw him go down to half HP.
That Hanzo is definitely going to be bad news for Arjuno.
We do see another Sim TP go out.
Sim TP to the same place.
Not able to grab anyone.
Sim TP to the same place.
Oh, this Sim is building up
beam
fast.
The Sim is building beam fast, especially on that shield. Ascini
almost going down.
Almost going down.
Does get the Sim though.
Walling the Hanzo off, getting
good pick on the
on him.
But it looks like his team is backing off and kind of leaving him alone on point. And we do see him go down because of that.
We see Zeppy and Wax still on.
Zeppy
Wax goes
not
down.
Healing
Zeppy,
Wax, kind of the poor reason for him to go down. But I saw what he was going for, trying to finish off that Junker Queen.
Now we do see them getting. They try to stagger in, but they get forced off.
Yep, and it looks like the Beavers are just gonna have to give up this point. Try not to lose any more lives.
A mild inconvenience.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
We will shield you.
And going into point 2.
Looks like we're going for the high hold on bridge.
Good play. Gonna have to do a bit of a strong hold here though. Rio was able to take that point pretty quickly, leaving them with 4 minutes on the clock.
We do see them pushing upside.
Seeing the brawl come up. The Dragons almost getting down Wax and Asceni, but was able to get out. Asceni does go
down. Gameworm takes down Rat, but is brought extremely low for it. The Queen's chasing it and finishing it off. We do see popping Visor here. The tank does go down. Soldier goes down as well.
Thanks. Everyone heal up. Tell Doomfist I'm coming for him.
We do see the Hanzo just kind of spamming up onto their high.
DVU does have. Oh, Asceni getting pulled off.
Getting
this could
pulled
be
off of the high
bad,
ground.
or it could be good with his mail here. We gotta just see what he tries to do with it. Oh,
tries to go for the health back and is taken down. We
could
see a Ramontra ult.
Oh, but that Queen ult ruins him.
Ruined him. And the
Canceled
Queen ult also
here.
The Queen ult completely negates 2 big ults. Honestly,
I mean, Rio just used 1 ult to counter both of our ults that we just popped, and they were both 2 really strong ults, especially with that orbital.
Especially when combined. I mean, the damage boost and like the damage boost capabilities with the Nemesis.
And we see another 2 ults going out. The chat getting 1, and it looks like it's just the chat versus the last 4 of DVU.
We do see a gamer swap to the Mauga. Got quiet there, but yeah, we don't have anything. The closest we have is 50 to the next Visor, while they have 2 and are very, very close to a 3rd. Especially with the poking that Widow has been doing. I think he's gonna build ult pretty fast, and we do see that with him immediately getting 90.
This could be an issue here. That could be a big Soldier ult, but it looks like he might get taken down by Gameworm, and he does.
Soldier ult does go out.
But it looks like it's just left to Gameworm here.
Gameworm here. He's
just getting obliterated here.
He's trying to stay on, but unfortunately is taken out and kind of stagged.
Pretty big stagger here actually. Cause we do see the dragons go out. Kind of a
we see the queen
play.
waiting for the
waiting
for the cryo.
Big stagger here. This could allow them to push up pretty hard.
I think with those 2 staggers, they're gonna be able to push it up to corner before we're able to do anything about it.
Risky play here by Wax Chunk peeking.
Risky stim, but he plays it just safe enough.
Getting enough damage.
We see the Hanzo on that high.
That Hanzo's going to cause issues if we can't deal with him.
Just used dragons and is a third of the way to the next one because of that spam that he's throwing down. We need to put pressure on him up there.
Yep.
Which we can see Wax trying to do, but he's getting out damaged.
Both trying, but it's just he's got such a weird angle that it's really hard for him to do any kind of meaningful damage.
We do see a wall go out on the queen, but the queen pushes up instead of trying to play back around it. We see the queen go out.
Maybe not able to keep him up. Game Worm going in crit
and is taken down for it. We do see the visor, but is
really
brought
able
down.
To do anything with it.
Aim hacks versus aim hacks, you know, with that Moira targeting him. We see the Juno playing Ring Around the Rosie on point is taken down.
They were able to delay it long enough.
And we do manage to force them off.
Really good stagger on both of those supports.
Force them off with just like just 3 meters left.
3 meters. However, BBU did use 3 ults, and we can see Rio's coming up on 4. 3 of them being pretty big ults.
I mean, those dragons are just going to be able to completely force them out of position, allowing Rio to push up.
Could be a big wall here. Oh, this dragons could be really detrimental.
There's the dragons looking for a cage to maybe try and force off.
Chat just not looking away. We do see 2 going down from the Beavers. Ooh, but it looks like they might be able to clutch the...
It's just Game Worm on point right now.
Game Worm has to clutch it up, and it looks like he might be able to do it. He was
able to.
Bit unfortunate. It looks like Rat wasn't able to build his ult fast enough. If he would have got that ult there, it probably would have been
that would have won the fight. We do see the Queen getting here on time, but is separated enough to where they can just get targeted.
Really staggered. And it looks like it might be a BBU win here. And it is indeed a BBU win for the map, bringing us to 1-1. Very good win by the Beavers here.
Very good win
close
there.
Too.
Oh, I'm gonna hold on. Swap back. I got to see what the play is.
And we do see Game Worm getting it here.
We do see it.
He had some pretty big plays here as Malga. So right here where he actually clutched it up.
It was right at the end here, yeah.
Typical Malga plays there.
Typical left click, right click.
Left click, right click. Occasionally shift.
Occasionally shift.
Only occasionally.
Every once in a while you'll press E.
And maybe Q.
Maybe Q. But we did see actually that that Malga nerf come into play with the cage. It got shredded.
It got shredded fast.
It was. I think it was down for maybe 2 or 3 seconds before it was just absolutely removed. And
I think
that is an unfortunate.
It was a really big capitalization there, but we
did get 1 pick off of that cage before it got shredded though.
Mm-hmm. I think mainly too the chat for Rio here just kind of ignored the cage and kept trying to shoot at the back line, and I think that was really the detrimental fact for Rio there, and the reason why we were able to bring out the win.
I think the chat was trying to play as if everything was normal instead of, you know, playing like you are in that Malga cage.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe the chat was like relying on that cage getting popped, but it didn't get popped fast enough.
It was just able to stay up just long enough, and he fell for it. We do have another 5-minute break here, so
we do see another 5-minute.
We will throw us back on to intermission, and we will be back with the next map.
We will indeed. we do.
And we are coming back.
Yes. We do see the Colosseo coming out, which I think is a preferred map for...
I want to say Rio, because I think our preferred map here for Navy from the last time I remember playing with them was Esperanza.
Yeah, I think Ishba is Navy's preferred. I know that Colosseo is preferred for white and gold, I believe. Right?
Yes. Gold typically plays Colosseo. If not, if it gets banned, it's Espa. I think those are two pretty common picks.
That's kind of how white works it.
Ooh, this could be a rough one for
it definitely could, because
we do see the full dive come
we have
out.
got this tank, and they have got this support.
This one could be a little rough.
Could be rough.
But we will see here. I think, especially with the full dive comp, the Juno Moira might be kind of rough. Now, Moira might be the only one who's able to live it pretty consistently.
If Hog can get some good hooks on the monkey, then it could be
pretty big.
Could be big, but you never know.
We do see the
Bastion getting pretty low, but the Kiri's able to get some good healing on him. Now, we do see the Ana
here
going out, and we don't have anything to counter that nade. We see the Genji getting pulled. Honestly, that's like an Overwatch 1 hook right there.
Went through the entire team for him. You see their Ana getting a Senny down, and Bastion going down for Rio here.
Yeah, so
we are down both DPS. Oh, almost getting that Ana too.
We do see the Genji going up on side. Could be setting up for a dive on one of those supports.
And we do see it go down.
The dive does happen. Wax is getting pressured, is taken down.
Big picks here too, getting down Zeppy as well.
Asini walling off that Bastion to try and save his tank. We do see the swap to Reaper from Wax there. I'm gonna assume that's just for the monkey counter dive.
Oh, this is
the nade goes out.
Bad ante, and we do.
The nade goes out. We pop Coalescence to try and save him.
I'm not sure about that Coalescence play. I mean, you can clearly see him being anti.
I think it might have been just like hoping that it runs out by then.
I think it's just too much burst damage for that Coalescence to try to heal through anyway.
Now we do see the
picks come out.
The Reaper swap did come into play there with taking down the monkey at the end there, and we also see
we did see Theory actually use Nano at one point during that fight. I'm not 100% sure where that was.
It might have gotten to Ajax.
I
didn't see that. It probably would have been on the monkey.
It would have been on the monkey, but it's going to be an unfortunate thing because they would have had Nano Blade here.
Now we see Bastion going down, kind of separating us, but we do come back together.
But it looks like Blade might not be able to get much out.
Blade doesn't get much out. The Reinhardt tries to charge through the Blizz, but unfortunately is caught at the very end of it. So that is 2 big picks on them.
Rio now on the fallback here, trying to get back without losing any more.
The wall, though, prevents the Bastion from getting out. Gets the pick there. We do see Asini getting dove by the Genji, but
putting out a lot and getting both cooldowns.
Both cooldowns do go out. Genji's still on them and is taken down. And we also see the Reinhardt getting our Moira. The pin there.
I don't know if they're gonna have enough healing for this.
I don't know if they will, especially now that he doesn't have any self heal and he goes down.
We do see Widowmaker, who used Blade not too long ago, already building up a second Blade.
I mean, that's Genji's being able to just kind of freely dive and get one pick just about every fight, or even twice in a fight, just allows him to build that ult.
Oh, and a good pick by Commander Gree on Zeppy here.
We are down a support into this fight, and there goes the shatter.
Again, but it saved by his Mei. Asceni keeping
a big wall there. And now we do see
another big wall. Oh, we do see a Nano Blade. This could be detrimental.
Nano Blade.
But it doesn't look like he's actually getting anything done with the Nano Blade. He was forced on the run.
Forced out with a Nano Blade. Feels bad. Now, they do.
Oh, and they dash into the Blossom.
Initially a solo Reaper on the Ana of all people, the person who can, with one shift, can't like take him out of it with the sleep.
Yeah.
So
now we did see actually Rio did take the lead here though.
And the Ana did swap to a Baptiste. I'm not sure why there. They looks like they're got some good utility out of that.
Yeah, they got really good utility. The Mei
preventing utility from our Juno ult.
Prevented the utility from our Juno ult, but also stopped the Rhine from getting a pin kill there. We do see Bastion getting into an opportune place, getting a little bit of damage, not too much.
It does force Tank off of his position there.
Oh, this
pulls the Reinhardt.
Oh, but a good Blizzard.
A very good Blizzard to counter that Juno ult.
Oh, but that wall does
the wall
save
saving their Juno.
Asceni just going off this game.
When does Asceni not go off?
Asceni is just popping off and saving some of these fights for his team. I mean, those are some massive blizzards he's throwing out, and we do see another big blizzard coming out. We do see a
blizz coming out.
Freezing Game Worm, freezing Asceni and Jupiter.
And that is a 3 picks from that
Bastion. We do actually see it being Widowmaker playing the Bastion this time instead of Commander Gree.
We do see 2 ults go out on. We see a windowed Bastion turret with a Mei freeze. That feels like overkill.
It feels a little overkill, but I mean, anything to secure that fight to keep the game going, you know?
And now we do see them Widowmaker using the Artil.
And it gets a pick on Zeppy.
We will be down in this next fight.
Especially with Zeppy, that's a big pick. That Coalescence getting saved, but it looks like it might have gotten canceled.
We do see another huge wall from Asceni there.
Oh, and another big freeze stopping them from being able to retreat. Asceni just popping off with those blizzards.
Extremely big blizzards from Asceni, and we do see Asceni getting more ults than anyone else.
That's
Navy.
Like his, I think, 3rd blizzard this game.
Yeah, and people are just building up to their 2nd.
Asceni's just putting in work for Navy here. If we gave out, player of the game, I think Asceni would be getting it here.
Yeah,
I mean, getting a big pick on Widowmaker
initially
too.
right there. And we're gonna.
It looks. Oh, but he might be able to get a pick here.
Survivability might be
good
able
wall,
to
keeping
wall
his team
up,
up,
protect our team to get them up.
And he gets a pick on Rat.
Juno.
Oh, but that Bastion went the rocket turret mode. That's going to be very detrimental for a Roadhog to deal with. No way to protect himself. Asceni just putting in work on this Orisa here with a big wall.
With a big wall as well. And a Blizz to prevent them from pushing up to save their tank through the wall.
Asceni is just popping off right now.
Goated Mei.
Insane Mei gameplay, getting a headshot on Widowmaker, forcing him back. I mean, Rio started off on a really good comp, and they've just kind of tossed that away, and they made too many swaps, I think, and they were just bad characters.
Yeah, I mean, the swap off of the Ana, who's getting crazy amounts of util, and obviously we are seeing the
Asceni game of the game, or play of the game. Yeah, I can't English today, but that's all right. Getting good picks, just
good pick on the Mei as well. And then I think that was the moment that immediately after they used their cryo, walled off the Orisa, and then got 2 more picks.
Yeah, Asceni was just putting in work on that map.
Asceni was putting in major work.
Oh, maybe we see Rio make a swap up here, try to maybe target down on Asceni, get his cooldowns out, or I don't know. It's looking like Rio's gonna have to make some pretty big changes to their gameplay.
Rio does get Asceni to force out the Mei cooldowns, but they don't capitalize on it.
They just can't capitalize on it. I think he's just able to wall himself perfectly.
Our Genji was able to force out both cooldowns, but the Genji was alone, so he wasn't able to capitalize.
He wasn't able to really capitalize on it until he almost got all the cooldowns back, and at that rate, Asceni had already traded out 2 to 3 people, so he got value for his life, and Rio just didn't do much.
Asceni has been getting great value with picks and ultimates and walls, just all of the utility getting thrown out.
I think Asceni is a really good example here of just how well you can use your utility
and how well you can cycle that utility on Mei.
Yep.
So we are going to go on an intermission for
that next game.
Alrighty, we are going into our next match, which is Suravasa. What are you gonna be wanting to see here from our Beavers going into Sura?
Well, you know, I want them to win and all that, and I think they're gonna, you know, this is a pretty common map for them. I'm not 100% sure on their comp, but I think they'll take a win out here. I want them to be able to identify their problems a little bit faster, and I think that might be a pretty big solve for Rio, honestly, is if they're able to identify their problems. And I think after that last game, it's got to be a Senny that they're going to identify.
I think the problem's a Senny, yeah.
I think if they just identify a Senny as the issue, they're going to be able to win. Which, if they do specifically target a Senny, I think the Beavers need to try to find a way to keep him up. And I mean, if that means you got to treat him like a king, I guess, you know?
Yeah, just king him, you know?
King him.
King him. All right, we're getting into the game now.
5, 4.
Keeping the same lineup for both teams. I mean, pretty standard comp, honestly. BVU does actually pick up the Ramatra here.
And once again, we do see
a Senny on
the May.
This could be a big issue for Rio. Oh, but he goes down already.
Spammed down by
and
the Widow.
And a major anti on 3 people, forcing him to back away.
Now, thankfully, we've got the Ramatra instead of the Roadhog going against that
Ana. But I mean, Ana's still gonna find some value here, I think.
Definitely, especially with us continuing to run the Juno Moira. We have nothing to do against those antis. And
pretty big sleep there, but that Reinhardt just kind of sitting there getting picked at, and he looks like he's gonna go down.
Major damage taken on him, and yeah, the Reinhardt does go down. We see a good pick on the Hanzo there from our
pretty good Wax Chunk. Pretty good aim from Wax Chunk there, you know. Oh, and he turns away at the wrong time. Otherwise, he might have gotten that Ana.
It's just like what happened in the Rainbow stream last night.
Oh yeah, that one was an interesting fight. I want to say it was Junior just roaming in.
Junior was roaming and walked in the same room as somebody else.
And
they walked past each other.
They had a signed agreement not to target each other, I guess.
We do see our very own Zeppi being brought low and taken down by that fire strike. A good air snipe.
Gameworm hit with that Discord,
not being able to break it.
Oh, but he does shake it, but he goes down for it.
He trades out himself for a support. Not a great trade there, and we see that not being great.
Nanoed Sim with tier 3 beam. That is a devastating blow to the Beavers there.
That is, I am afraid of a Nano T3. I'm a tank player for white team, and if I see a Nano T3, I'm maybe quitting college.
Man, as a tank player, I think you're just terrified to see a Sim in the lobby. Your team or not.
Absolute. I mean, I'm terrified when I see T on the Mighty on that Sim.
Oh yeah, that's Sim main right there.
We do see the Sim being brought low, punching all around him, taken down.
Not a great Dragons, actually right above Gameworm's head, getting 0 value off of it.
We do see a Ramatra ult on. It gets
immediately
Discord
countered.
Anti-shattered. We do see,
but it looks like the Beavers are maybe able to bring it back anyway, unless Widowmaker's not able to win that 1v4. It looked like.
And we do see the Moira again goes out to try and save him, but the anti just takes him down. A Senny
just stopping that touch.
A Senny on the goated May, preventing the push, preventing them from even trying to touch.
A Senny's just putting in work here. I mean, we just saw Wax put in work too. I think our DPS are doing really, really good.
Our DPS are doing fantastic this game. We do see Wax rotating up onto the high. That's gonna get called out.
Oh, but he's not gonna see that Zen.
The Zen comes out,
and then the Hanzo
headshot is just game over.
You don't live that. That's all game over.
I mean, even as a tank, a Hanzo headshot with a Discord.
That's gonna hurt. Hopefully we see the male here, and we do actually see it. It forces out the Transcendence.
It does force out Trans, which is a very, very strong ult, and he does build it a lot slower than May builds Blizzards.
This is true.
So we will probably see more May.
Wax getting a pick on Rat here. Nanoed Sim again. This could be bad.
Now we do see
the nano sim
there.
we just see. Oh, but it doesn't get much value. We do see it taking down one person, but good shot by Aseni there.
there.
Man, every time I see that nano sim, I shake a little bit. I don't want to know how much damage that does.
The sim has kind of been just holding on to wall.
I would agree.
It's been
walling off that high ground. Honestly, could be
wall, and they just haven't used it.
Walling off that high ground actually could be pretty bad for the Beavers.
Get jump scared by the Ana.
Oh, and it looks like he might get a pick on the Ana. They're just ignoring him.
Just was not turning around at all. So
their entire team
pick.
just ignored him. That was, I don't know. Like Aseni's just getting value because the team doesn't want to look at him.
On him.
He's just sitting here getting free damage.
He's not even like going into cover. He's just sitting here.
Rio's just really making a massive blunder here. I mean, they're just ignoring him.
And as we just talked about earlier, we see the Zenyatta at 40% with Aseni at 90.
I don't know what that play was by Rio there. They just ignored him, and he got, what was that, 2-3 picks maybe?
I think he got 2 there, and enough pressure on the other 2 other than the tank, who was I think already out of the fight. Enough pressure on the other 2 just to like make them step off.
Yeah, they need to focus him down, and they're not doing it.
Like as you said, in between maps, focusing on what is the problem. Aseni is obviously the problem for Rio, and they're just not even looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're playing more of like a poke comp here into the brawl, and we just talked about how that's kind of devastating.
We do see the Orisa get only partial wall, the gold saving them, but they do use all 3 utils.
Waxchung taking a lot of damage there. Aseni is just heating up here. I mean, almost getting that Zen there.
Hitting the headshot on the Zen completely forces him back.
Wax getting the visor here. Not looking like he's able to get anybody with it. Unfortunate, but I mean, it is a little bit of a cosmetic ult at that time, so. Oh, this could be a big blizzard. It looks like he might be able to get 4 with it. He does at least get 2.
The Cassidy was caught in it, but you know they were
being
kept
wall.
up. Big wall.
This could
it
be
gets
really
brought down.
bad.
Now we do see Widowmaker on the Cassidy.
Rio's gonna have to get ready for a push here, otherwise it's gonna be game over and it's gonna be a 3-0.
And that wall prevents
they do get the touch, but that Reaper just gets eviscerated.
And now it's an ult dump.
Oh, this could be either really, really good or really bad for BBU, but we still have ults up online, and we just saw Rio use every single ult they had.
And we see the stem go out, and it just devastates.
And it's devastating. And I mean, we saw both of our DPS just popping off.
And that's a 3-0.
Really, really good turnaround from what game 1 was.
And definitely a good reverse sweep there. Let's see the play here.
Oh, we do
see the Symmetra, who I think walled once.
I think he only walled once. Oh, and it's the Nano Sim, and we just watched Waxchung get eviscerated by it.
Every single Nano, I think, went to the Symmetra there.
Wow.
That's pretty gross.
That's pretty gross, and I mean, it's a best of 7.
Sorry, we're seeing in chat that they're saying it's a best of 7. We don't have buttons that go up to a best of 7.
I don't think it is a best of 7. Maybe. We're gonna actually check on the rules, but I mean, before we put you guys on intermission or end the stream here, I think that was a really good map for the Beavers.
It was a beautiful map. Our DPS were both just doing fantastic jobs.
Yeah, and I mean, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's due. You know, Game Worm did force out some cooldowns. I mean, we did see him pop an ult, get slept, get scored, and shattered. But
shatter, Shatter, Discord, Anti-Nade.
I don't know anybody that lives through that.
Everything dumped into him.
It's looking like maybe it is a best of 5. I honestly,
According
I don't know. There's some arguing going on in chat, but
according to Theory, they're saying that semis and finals are best of 7, and according to our very own Gameworm is saying that ECAC is saying that all rounds are best of 5 except for the finals themselves. So we'll just kind of stay on cams and just kind of chat until we get all this figured out.
Yeah.
What do you think? We've been talking a lot about our Beavers, but what do you think Rio should do to change, like what they're doing? What should they do to maybe come up with something and get the picks on the people who are being bad to them?
I mean, like we said after that push game on Colosseo, I think they really need to try to focus down the Aseni. I mean, he's putting in so much work. And honestly, for this map, it's kind of hard to determine who you need to target because you had Wax Chunk putting in work on that hit scan, just beaming people out of the sky as they're dropping.
And then the soldier was getting good damage in, and
then you had that Mei utility coming out, and it was so impactful. I mean, you saw there right at the end, they forced out Ana cooldowns as the cast was just trying to simply back up, and I mean, it forced their Reaper to have to touch, and
it forced a touch from the Reaper, and that was immediately them being down 1. I mean, the Reaper did get the touch, which allowed them to get onto the point, but with both teams ult dumping, we had more.
I think the other big deficit here from Rio specifically their sim player was they walled once maybe, and it was right there at the final touch. On point 2, we saw the Beavers were holding on that high ground. If they threw a sim wall up there, it was going to have to force down their entire team, including their supports, to be able to get value off of healing.
Yeah, when they were on that second point, when they were on that second point with all of us except for our Mei holding on that high ground, a sim wall going down main, dividing the point in 2, would allow Rio to take the other side and force them to either have to drop down onto main to contest or just like completely reroute.
Yeah, and I mean, not even like just that, but you can also move that wall a little bit closer towards the like that high ground specifically, cutting off the high ground entirely, forcing those supports to have to jump down too. Cutting the point in half isn't terrible either, but those supports can still kind of hold up there and heal from that one side, you know. If you push it closer to that high ground,
pushing it closer to the high would definitely separate them, force the squishy characters who were able to get their utility from a distance down, would allow it being closer would allow them to have to force down onto point, and that's
and I think if they would have gotten the support picks there, I think it would have been a little bit of an easier win for that. And I mean, I think a bigger deficit too was Aseni just sitting on that high ground. I mean, he got a free pick.
He got a free pick on the Ana of all time of all people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was getting damage. I mean, was their Ana not playing with a headset?
That's not even just a headset. Like, their monitor must have just turned off or something. I mean, you're getting hit indicators where you're getting shot from.
Hit indicators from their
from behind them by Aseni.
Yeah, from their left. Just like if they had turned just 90 degrees, they would have been sleep, anti-nade, sniper rifle.
They don't even need to do that. Just one sleep, and that whole fight could have been turned differently. Because your whole team could have just came back and focused on the Mei. Maybe you wouldn't have got them, but you would have forced out a cooldown.
And I mean, I think at least I think one of their DPS and the other support were holding near them. If they had slept them and pinged them, then they could have taken the Mei out of the fight entirely initially.
Yeah, and it would have been a really easy fight win there. And we actually are getting an update. Our Beavers were actually looking at the wrong rulebook here. It is indeed a best of 7.
So we could
possibly see somewhat of a reverse sweep from Rio.
A turnaround is possible. However, we do not have buttons that go up to 7.
Don't worry, I'll keep track on my fingers for you guys. I'll make sure you guys are good to go.
We've got a pen and paper here. Actually, we can just kind of write it down.
Yep. You know, it is kind of hard for us Overwatch players to count to 4, but we'll figure it out between the two of us.
When I'm playing tank and when I'm playing Orisa, I have 3 utils. I can only really count up to 3.
Yeah,
but when I'm playing Reinhardt, I don't even think. You know?
He just kind of shuts down a little bit. Honestly, I played with him a little bit. You know.
Honestly, I find myself falling asleep playing Reinhardt.
Yeah, I think I've fallen
asleep
trying to
so
play
bad.
Reinhardt with you. All right. Anyway, we're gonna throw you guys back on intermission until we get into the game.
Welcome to Junkertown. Initiating match.
And we are back in, and we are on Junkertown for Escort here.
Now, personally, Junkertown is by far one of my least favorite Escort maps. I think, honestly, I think my favorite would probably have to go to Circuit. Or,
you know, Circuit's pretty good, I would have to agree I like Circuit, but I think I like it for different reasons from you. You know, as a really enjoy playing Ashe and like Cassidy and stuff, sitting on that high ground.
I enjoy playing Sigma, which is why I enjoy Circuit.
Yep. I've heard plenty of interesting calls from you on Sigma on that map.
We see
bit of a weird play from Rio
crouching
here.
Reinhardt, which it's not gonna hide you, buddy.
And he uncrouches. I mean, it would have been a really good like sneak play there, but
now we do see them playing up right on payload, which makes sense for the
Asceni going down fast. Maybe Rio has adapted and they realized Asceni's causing issues.
And it looks like they go in for the first pick and then they back off.
Their Juno's really low there,
and
but we did see Jupiter in that third-person view of trying to focus on killing the Juno, and unfortunately loses their tank for it.
And they do trade tanks. The Bastion just burning, standing up on that bridge and just burning the.
We see Zeppy heating up here, getting what was that 2-3 picks there? Wow.
Now we see an instant swap to the Ramatra there. I'm assuming because of how just how fast they got shredded by that Bastion. Walking into fire strikes. We all do it.
You more than others.
Oh, you know.
Zeppy getting another pick on their tank.
More burning.
Really trying to just tank the Bastion turret instead of just letting it run out.
The Immortal field going out, but not fast enough. And we do see a not very even hard contested first point take.
No, I mean 5 minutes on the clock. That means there is very little to contest. It's not looking good for Rio. We see a swap to Zarya. I mean, maybe Rio can get something done on the Zarya, but that Mei is still going to be detrimental.
I mean, with our Soldier and Mei and Ramatra, we can just focus on popping our bubbles and forcing more of her utility out. But will we be able to?
I'm not sure why we're not just trying to pop these bubbles. Maybe it was just a visual glitch, I think.
I think it is just a visual glitch.
Because maybe we were shooting at the bubbles. Kind of hard to tell. Widowmaker going down to Asceni.
Going down.
Stay out of my way.
Now the Bastion.
And it looks like that Baptiste is going to probably end up going down as well. He's stuck in a room with... Oh, Zeppy trying to 1v1 him and just...
It gets turned around on him.
Not a good play by the Beavers here, letting the 1v1s happen.
Now we do have 4, almost 5 ults going in, and they are currently at 2, almost 3. We do see our very own Wax getting brought down pretty low by the Zarya.
In a 1v1 room with a Zarya and a Reaper is not a good play. 1v1 with a Zarya and a
Reaper is not a great time.
Gamer needs to turn around and maybe try to help his team, or actually it looks like Asceni actually was able to clean it up, so... Not too bad of a play trying to push up.
Oh, where's their tank?
Okay.
Okay.
Back from spawn.
I saw them like, cause the
I saw
spawn,
them underneath too, and it's like
I saw
it's just
this
weird.
The spawn is like over that way, and I thought it was. Oh man, they are hating Wax. Wax is brought to 9 health.
HP. We do see a swap to a Mei from Command Agree here. Could be an issue for. Oh.
Now, their very own Mei is not dropping the wall to allow them to play in the ult.
We do see him go down. We see Wax Chung going down, Zeppy, Jupiter, and there is the team
That's
kill
the
for.
DK.
That was a pretty good team kill, and I mean, I think they used only one ult there for it, and they were able to counter a pretty big ult with the tank ult. This could be really bad for the Beavers. They're kind of grouping up for that Zarya ult, and we do see it come out.
But
we do see
Mei
a really
wall
good
goes
Mei
out.
wall, and it kind of turns on them, actually.
It
A
does
little
save.
bit, but ooh.
We are down forward. It's just Wax now. We do see Yermatra swap onto a Mauga.
It's kind of a pretty typical pick of him when he's really struggling against other.
I think
tank
it might be just like
players.
a comfort pick for him.
I think
Now,
it's a
I don't
comfort.
I don't
Oh,
really
this could
understand.
be really. Oh,
I don't
we
really
could see him
understand
go
it
down.
against the
Bastion.
Bastion Baptiste.
Yeah.
Now the Zarya, somewhat if you can force out the bubbles, but most of your damage does come from crits, and you can't crit the bubs.
You can't crit the bubbles, and I mean, you're gonna every time you shoot it, it's just gonna keep building.
So as Mauga, you can't really pop her bubbles as fast as you could on some other higher damage tanks.
Mm-hmm. It does seem to work out there in that initial fight, but we did force out. It looked like 2 to 3 ults from the Beavers there.
And they used wall there actually, or not wall, window,
Mm-hmm.
which we did manage to force them off.
This
there.
could be a bad. Oh, this is a big blizzard, but it's just, it's trading blizzards, and it looks like a Senny got the bigger blizzard there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the kill screen with a Blizz, as well as the double headshot. I think we know what play is gonna be there.
And then we see Wax finishing up Widowmaker there on that Bastion.
We saw Cayman switching to the Venture, probably just as a touch pick.
I would agree.
But
I think if they did swap to Venture and try to actually play Venture, it would cause a lot of issues
I
for
think
Navy
it
teams.
could. Because I know there are a lot of teams that sort of play the way that Navy does, that just don't know how to handle a Venture, because Venture is a dive character unlike most other dive characters.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of really good get out of jail free cards, and I mean, just passively building shield off of just using your ability is really good.
As well as those get out of jail free cards, not only giving you shields, but also every get out of jail free card that they have does damage.
Mm-hmm.
So they can be used offensively as well.
And I mean, we did see on that Coliseo game, Navy did struggle a little bit to try to deal with that dive.
Honestly, if I was Rio right now, I would probably
I'd maybe be trying to pressure with like a dive.
I'd be honestly probably looking for a like an Ana Venture, maybe even like something like a Kiri that can just do damage. The Kiri can do damage from afar, as well as having that Suzu try and, you know, save their teams in any blizzards that a Cine can throw down. The Ana can deny any utility from a lot of the tanks that Game Worm likes to play, and the Venture can help to try and fight that the DPS that are kind of shredding them.
I would agree. I mean, a Venture against a Soldier is just going to be a really good pick. There's not a lot a Soldier can do to burst down a Venture fast enough.
A lot of Soldier's utility comes from his ability to fight mid to long, and not as much in the short range.
You see Asceni getting a first opening pick on the tank there. Just, he's putting in so much work for the Beavers today.
Pressuring up. Turns around at just the wrong time to not see the Soj.
Ooh, but he does. Oh, the
Soldier's
Soldier's gonna be in a really bad
Soldier
position
drops,
now.
gets headshot by the by Asceni.
But he does get out alive, and Widowmaker taking down Zeppy.
That is a Morphfield out.
Oh,
right
and
now.
that's both supports down for the Beavers. This could be really bad fight for them.
That is
Especially
a good wall
with
there.
Gameworm going down to almost half HP.
Half HP and no more Nemesis, so he is pretty squishy right now.
Yes, Zeppy does actually come back. You could see it off on the screen. He was healing up Gameworm just a little bit.
We see Asceni looking for a Blizz here, probably. Now, we do see them popping 2 ults there. The Window and Bastion ult. Asceni does go down.
But it doesn't really seem to matter. It looks like Navy's able to just fend off Rio here. Maybe Gameworm's heating up a little too much to try to get that Bastion.
Uses that wall to try and force back.
I feel like they're really kind of giving up a lot of space here. They could be playing forward more.
We do see Asceni kind of doing their job as a Mei. Initially, where sometimes they just like peek up and just shoot at the high ground that they're trying to hold on.
Asceni, they're just trying to hold that wall.
Both DPS do go down, as well as one of our supports.
Tank might go down here, maybe not. It looks like they're actually going to get out alive.
They're getting out alive, but they do give up point for it.
Not a bad trade in my book. I mean, keeping your life, but it looks like Gameworm's going to get caught out here.
Gameworm taking a very interesting path out of line of sight to his support.
Almost dying for it, too, to that Bastion.
Almost
turret.
dying twice, actually. I think he almost died, grabbed a mini, almost died again, and he grabbed a mega.
I would really like to see this Blizzard come out this fight. We've been holding it for a long time.
Now we do see the Morphfield go out, Window go out.
Zeppy going into a enclosed room with 2 people. I'm not sure about that play.
Now we do see some pretty big plays from our Beavers there.
Really good plays, and I mean, we used 1 ult for 2 ults there, 3 ults maybe. I think it was 2 ults.
They shatter windowed for our Ramatra, and there's the Bastion ult going out it was down the main, I think, just to try and give us space to work with.
I think we're seeing another situation here where Asceni's just sitting there for free, getting damage and kills.
Dropping, but the freeze did not go out.
But he might die here in this 1v1, but he actually gets out alive. Maybe with another exit pick, actually.
You know, as I said, the Kiri could
big wall stopping them from backing off here.
When I said the Kiri could be a big play,
down.
I was right. Asceni drops down to try and get utility from that Blizz, but it is denied because the Kiri Suzu just allows them to walk out.
Yep. Gameworm there going down to Widowmaker's grenade.
Widowmaker got grenades?
He does. What do they do? Actually changed out the Venom mines for, cluster bombs.
No more Venom mines. Just frag grenades.
They actually just do half your health no matter what character you're playing.
They actually just do 100% of your health, and they can crit.
Oh, this could be a really big play here.
Could
the
be a big
visor. Getting 1 with it, 2 with it. Good visor with that Juno ult.
Good combo there, forcing them all the way back to their spawn doors.
Beaver's playing really, really well here.
Now, the Reinhardt is not doing Reinhardt things. He's playing like he has a tiny health pool. That he's using that shield to back away instead of trying to force up with it.
Oh, Nico trying to fight that.
But the Bastion with a window takes him down.
And we do see Asceni getting that final kill there on the chat. Not our chat, their chat.
We wouldn't let anyone hurt you guys. Don't worry.
Maybe only the residential sim main that we have.
Maybe only the resident sim main, yeah.
Oh, a good
beautiful
pick.
snipe on the soldier there for a first pick in the fight.
Aseni's just putting in so much work. I mean,
walling off the Baptiste.
Missing so many shots right after the compliment. That is the caster curse.
That is
right
the caster's
there.
curse. We do see the
oh my
window.
Gosh,
we see the immortality field go out. So that is down. We see Wax getting the pick on the
They are just kind of pushing it in. This could be kind of bad for the Beavers, but it looks like Aseni might be able to help finish it up there, and it's looking like a Beaver dub overall.
Aseni hits him, punches the Reinhardt in the face.
And that is game 4 for the Beavers.
That is game 4.
Play of the game.
Game Worm getting the play of the game, actually. Feels maybe a little stolen after
a little bit stolen.
Some of the work Aseni put in. Not a bad play. They are just kind of lining up for him. Not a bad play. But I think Aseni did put in a little bit extra work.
Aseni bringing him crit for him.
Yeah, I mean...
Aseni was like, you know what? I've had too many play of the games. Here you go.
I mean, they actually had the same amount, but I think the way to look at this is that Aseni put in so much work this game.
And
I think he was the reason why they kind of got enabled almost.
Aseni was enabling every single fight by forcing out a Mort field almost every single fight.
And if it wasn't in a Mort field, it was a really quick pick on somebody.
I mean, as we saw there, an amazing opening snipe on the soldier in that last fight.
I think almost every fight Rio started down one player because they just didn't try to bother.
But yeah, we had a very good game there. Some beautiful gameplay from everybody.